Kikau Africa, the rage of teenage. Thank you so much, ladies and gents. Welcome to another episode of Kikau Africa. At Kikau Africa, we like to deal with life fundamentals over tactics. We speak on many things, and we have been fortunate to have a guest that has been on this spinning rock for a long time. Na najua vitu mingi. I'm also blessed that he is my father, a good man, a wise man, and a man who we feel compelled to share content about, because he has things to say, and he has things to say that we believe have value. Thank you so much. Welcome again to Kikau Africa. Welcome to our guest, Dad. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
People are keen to see us talking on camera. People are interested in these kind of things.
Yeah?
Yeah, I grew up like this, so to me this is normal, but a lot of the world is hurting and does not have this that I have.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I must share.
Okay, then it's a good opportunity to explore the situation and see where we are.
Yeah.
And give input where we can.
Yeah.
So it's my joy to be here. Yeah, just to discuss the issues you bring to the table.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, is it an age thing where with age you feel compelled to want to put into the world as opposed to just take from the world? Would you say? Do you, like now me, I feel the urge to share what you have. And you also said you feel like you want to share things you want to put out there. It seems to happen with age, with time. Would you say, is it an age thing? Is it...
On one hand, I think it's an age thing, but again, it's also very personal.
Okay.
Where you see there is need and you feel you have learned and you would want to help others, perhaps not go through the mistakes you went through.
Okay.
And to learn where they are in a rapidly changing world. Yeah? The younger generation needs to learn from the older generation. What did they experience? What did they encounter? How did they handle it? Yeah? So that we do not reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
If we can learn from the mistakes of others. Yeah? If we can be more equipped and more prepared to face this life. So I think it's almost an obligation where the older generation should again seek to pass down what they have learned. But it used to happen again in the traditional society.
It was
where boys were initiated, girls were initiated, and there were different stages of initiating them. And also bringing them together as groups. Yeah, initiation happened in groups. Yeah, so that they are prepared for the next phase of their lives. And therefore they were not confused. Because they were prepared. From this time, this is happening. From here, you go there. And this is what is expected of you at that stage.
Wow.
So those group initiations and socializations, I think, were very, 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 very powerful. And every child, every person, because they belong to an age group, yeah, and are obliged to hold, the values and to behave in a manner that they would not let down their age group. Yeah, and that therefore created or enabled quite some stability. I belong, and I'm accountable. Yeah? Right? So you find even boys, when they were circumcised, they were put in a group and nurtured and taken care of and initiated as a group.
As a group.
As a group, as an age group.
Oh, man.
And they held on to that. Yeah? And I think the Kikuyus had a saying that Rika na muhiriga itiumanago. You don't part from a clan, you belong to a clan, and you don't depart from that age group. Yeah? You don't. You belong.
Yeah. So you work with your clan and your age group.
You belong to this clan. You are part of a bigger family. Yeah? But at a smaller level, you belong to this age group. Yeah? You are initiated together, you are prepared together.
So you entered teenage with a group of boys your age.
Your age.
Wow, okay. And then you're told this is what it's going to be like.
This is what is expected of you now. Of course, people are slightly older that time. It was not done when they were very small.
At what age?
It's that age of puberty, age of teenage. Yeah.
Why that age?
Because now, you say now you are mature, right? I think it would be late up towards late, maybe towards 20s,
Okay.
or 18 or 17 or thereabout.
Okay.
And like I said, in the earlier society, then there was not much. Once you have matured, the next thing would be
Get a family.
you get a family.
Start a family.
You start a family. Isn't it? Because the education was not there. So they were initiated at that point where now they know they are moving to the next phase where they can start families. Right?
Okay. So then this whole, I feel like the premise of the video then is already like, okay, so you guys didn't have the space for the turmoil of teenage.
No, that did not happen to us, but before. Yeah? For us, we were already in the modern world. Yeah? Where the individualism was really there.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
It's only that, of course, you would walk again with a group.
Okay.
But teenage, if you're talking about teenage,
How was teenage for you?
teenage is generally a crisis
Okay.
for most people.
Okay.
Again, depending on what has been instilled in you, right? You say in the older society they were instilled, they knew who they were and what they were heading to. Yeah, the road was very, very clear, the road map.
There's older people telling you, at this stage in your life,
This is what should happen.
this is what is next.
And when you from here, when you career, you get married, this is what should happen. This is how you treat your wife, this is how you relate. Yeah?
There were rules.
There were rules. This is what is expected of you.
And there was accountability among
Exactly.
age mates.
Among age mates. And also relationship with the older group, the group ahead of you, who trained you, who initiated you,
Yes.
and were there with you during that process.
And you cannot let your squad down also.
You cannot.
Kuenda kudunga mimba everywhere, nini.
No.
You let the squad down.
You see the values that already you had, that was not expected. No, you wait for that girl who will be your wife. Right?
Okay.
Yeah?
So you guys are not
And of
messing
course,
with-
people operated within a region, isn't you?
Yes.
And they knew you could get away from this, but not there.
Yes, but Dad, I think that the physical manifestations of teenage are the same regardless of the rules. The feeling of, it's my time, I want to be out there, I want to try new things. Mademu wamekuwa warembo, ama boys wamekuwa handsome. It's the rage of teenage.
Yeah, let's talk about then teenage.
Yeah.
What does it involve?
Yeah.
You're it's an age between childhood and adulthood. And that's why it's kind of a crisis.
Okay.
You are not a child anymore. You are moving into adulthood, but you have not become an adult. Right?
Yes.
You have not become.
No. But your body...
Because you do not take responsibility. You have no capacity. Like in this age group now, during this time you are in school, you have not even started earning, right? So you are still under the authority of your parents. They are providing for you, they are keeping you. But the body has come to a point, yeah? First, we look at the body, where a lot of changes have taken place, right? Your hormonal growth. First, the structure has grown. Your hormones are also running, running wild in your body.
It's chaos.
It's chaos.
Your body, you don't have the child body anymore.
You don't have the child's body anymore. And yet, you have no capacity, you have no freedom to express those feelings you have. Right? The hormones are telling you now, I'm a big boy. I'm a big man.
Tafuta dem.
And the body tells you, you can even have sex.
Yes.
The body is telling you, hormones are telling you, are going crazy.
But you're being told it's bad.
But
it's
you're
not
being
the
told,
time.
hey, it's not your time. But the body is speaking. And at that point then, we must recognize the place of the mind, right? And the values that have been instilled.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Right? Because all behavior is driven, first, of course, by the mind. There are also the innate drives. We agree they are there, right? The hormones are speaking. Yeah? And my emotional needs are saying. But there is also now the thinking me, right? What has been instilled in my mind? In the traditional society, we said, you've really been instructed. This is the way to go. Therefore, you will not entertain that thought. I told you they would go dancing. Yeah? Young people. right?
During teenage.
Yeah, toward that adulthood, you dance, especially now it's become younger men who are ready.
This is in the day or in the night?
Yeah.
In the day or in the
in
night?
the evening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no matter what happens, I cannot go beyond there.
Because of the set of rules.
Because of the set of rules and expectations of society.
And you can't
right?
let the squad down.
And look, what I put in my mind is very powerful. What I know, I can't do this, right? I can't do this. I will restrain. I will not allow my mind to engage in that thought. We are now looking at who we are. Are we together?
Versus me, who is feeding my mind with music videos of half-naked women.
So, what I fill my mind with is what drives my emotions, right? Look, if I found a girl and said, wow, she looks nice, blah, blah, what happens? And you start imagining beyond there, right? But when you have those mental constraints already, those values instilled in you, yeah, she looked nice, but it stops there.
Become a steamer.
It stops where?
I know.
There. Because I cannot go beyond there. It's not expected of me that I can go start having sex. Right? So the emotional you becomes tamed by the reasoning you, right? Because I can reason, of course. And I will not even entertain the thought. Because when you entertain the body, you stir the body. I mean, when you entertain the mind, that thought, you stir your body. And the more you entertain it, the more you feel it. Oh, we have the classic case of David when he saw a lady bathing, Bathsheba. Yeah? Looked at her, started imagining things. And he couldn't stop at that point. Who is that lady? Go bring her. He had the power. Yeah? Go bring her.
The mind is already engaged.
Good. We have the classic case of, I want to compare those two, of Joseph. Joseph knew, and it was instilled in him, I cannot do this. Potiphar.
Yes.
And you see, is now here the woman who is making the move. I won't come and sleep with me. Come and sleep with me. And David, of course, would say, no, I can't do such a wicked thing before God. We are looking at the values that we hold. So as we come to that, right?
Right.
He got to a point where this lady, I think, making sure there is no one in the house, came for him physically. Sasa nimekushika, come and sleep with me. What did Joseph do? He fled.
He took off.
He left even his jacket. Because he said, I can't do such a wicked thing before the Lord. He knew they were together all alone. But what had been instilled in his mind, they are doables and things you can do. Right?
Yes.
For him, he fled. Does that mean Joseph did not have those erotic moments and emotional on it?
No.
But they were under control because of the values he embraced. Doing this against God who is watching. So I can't do it. I'm sure he had all the urges like a young person. So going back then to teenage. Now we were just looking at the values that were instilled in these boys, in these men.
What is it?
They knew you cannot touch. If you touch her, you have declared her your wife. So long as they were not ready, they would restrain. Does that mean they did not have emotions?
No.
Their impulses were there, but they are generally amplified by what we put
in our minds.
In the mind, and that's what David did. Wow, she's looking nice. Bathing. Looked at her a second time.
He's engaging it.
So he engaged, yeah? And as long as he's doing that, the body is ready. Wow, I can't imagine having her. So back to teenage then. What season is it? It's a season where the body is growing. Hormones are also growing, telling you you're ready to become a man, a father. You are ready even for a family. Your body is saying so. You are looking also for approval. Peer pressure is very high during that time. You want to identify with your peers.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You want you belong.
Yes.
You want to identify. Right? I'm looking at it now from the child's perspective.
Yes. Why is it amplified in teenage? Why do you want acceptance from your friends more at that point?
I think it's the way, you're developing your identity now. You're looking for a disconnect now. It's an age where you're gradually moving away from being a child of your parents to being a member of society, to belonging to a group of others. You are at that, it's a transition point, right? I will soon disengage from my parents and connect with my world. Which is this world? What is happening in that world? Yeah? Especially during now this time when things are really changing. So this guy is at this point. Even the girl now, her body is also changing. She'll get those urges. Yeah? Sexual urges, So what is happening in their world that comes in? Right? What is the influence? What is the social world telling you? So you are here, you are not yet responsible. You do not have the means, but the body is saying ABCD.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you also want to belong to your group. What is happening in your peers, in your group or with your peers? That is very important at this page because you're looking for identity. Right? So your body is talking. You are limited in many ways, and you are not yet full of age. At this point, we said your brain, your cognitive brain, is still not mature.
Still developing.
And therefore, you find teenagers are very emotional. They act on emotions, on feelings, and it's very easy to influence them. I mean, the media, especially influence from the media, the social world. Because their body is speaking in a certain language.
And their minds, their feelings, they're very malleable.
And their minds are malleable. Yeah? Can be shaped by whatever is going on.
Yeah.
So, and in a rapidly changing world, you see the teenager is going through that. The parent is seeing this as a boy, as a girl, as a young girl. They are under my care.
Nimtoto.
Yeah? Nimtoto. But they want to go out there and socialize with the others in a changing world.
Yes.
You know, in the traditional society, going back there again, the society was homogeneous. What was happening here was happening there. But here we are not there anymore.
All the homes had the same value system.
They had the same value system.
Society was a collective.
Yeah, that's why you could be disciplined by any parent on the road.
Because what is wrong in your house is wrong in his house, is wrong in my house.
Exactly. So this young person now, with a rapidly changing body, is largely driven by feelings. Right?
Right.
By
Feelings.
Feelings. And they want to go according to their feelings. But they are not yet mature. They cannot take responsibility. Right? They are not at an age where they can get married. Yet they have those needs, those urges. Right? So it's a very interesting period. And their thinking brain that reasons is not yet fully developed. So they are running on that emotional gear. Feelings, impulses, need for acceptance by the group. Because now he feels he belongs to a group. Or she feels she belongs to a group. Therefore, she is under pressure depending on what is happening there.
In the group. So if the group is informed by this societal aesthetic, then we all believe the same thing. We are all going to behave the same way. Exactly.
Whatever the culture of that time is for that group. And parents now get caught up here. Here is your child. I mean, as far as you know as a parent, this is a child. Right? They have not reached here. They are under my roof. And yet they now want to kind of act independently. But they are not responsible. And the parent knows that, of course, they have not yet reached the age where they can reason properly. Yeah? The parent is also at a disadvantage. He or she does not understand what is happening at this stage in the teenager's world, social world. Yeah? So many times parents are caught up. Oh, I did not know my children are doing this. They can sneak out and do. Yeah? Because some could even sneak from the house and go and come without you knowing.
Yeah.
But the parent has no idea that the child has reached this age and this is what is happening.
We were doing that here. Sneaking, we climb over the gate, unarushia umbo wa mkate anakimbia huko. Then we jump over the gate. And some friends of ours have stolen a car from the parents.
Yeah.
Sherehe.
Yes. So the parent is here unaware of the stage at which this child is.
Because you think
and therefore
child.
You are just a child.
To you.
And therefore the parent has not prepared you and instilled ABCD because he or she is caught by surprise.
Even you've not given me the information that I'm no longer a child.
Yeah, that no, you are no longer a child, that you expect ABCD. So it's just something that happens to you and you realize, how do I feel, blah, 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 blah. Yeah? And in the struggle to cope with all this, now you find all types of behavior, right? So because pressure is building up, so you find young people now will now start doing things.
Engaging in sexual activities.
Masturbation, blah, blah.
Masturbation.
How trying to relieve the pressure.
Yes. Your body has changed.
Pressure. The body has changed. And therefore it's very easy for them to find themselves, if the opportunity arises, even engaged in sex.
Yes.
Because they are listening to their body. And at this point when they have reached there, even the parent now trying to reason with them becomes quite a challenge. Because if they have not built values that can restrain them, because you said values restrain people, right?
The urges are there.
The urges are there.
There's no dialing down on that.
It's what will restrain you.
Is the values.
Joseph, we said what restrained him is how he regarded that.
He said
it's an offense
to God.
Before God.
Yes.
So I cannot get into it. Right? And I cannot do this to my master's wife, who has trusted me with everything else except you.
So it's not about the opportunity or lack of opportunity.
It's not about the opportunity.
Ni mimi value system yangu imesema.
What is your value system?
Can't do it.
So if you have not grown up with any value system, then many run wild at that point. And they don't even listen to what the parents are saying because they are listening just to themselves. And they are remember you have said their thinking brain, their cognitive part of the brain that can help them reason. So at this point, they don't reason. It doesn't matter how much they're offending the parents. I am being driven by my peer group.
And that is, at this point, superior to me wanting your approval. I want my friends to like me more than I care about you.
Yeah, because soon you are slowly graduating from
being your child.
Authority, control, to belonging to that group out there.
Yes.
So there is that conflict. Who do I listen to? I am moving progressively from my parents. In a few years, I'll just be on my own. Yeah? The body is also seeking. You're also seeking approval by your group, your peer group. And therefore, teenage is a crisis. Yeah? It's a crisis in that here you have feelings that you cannot fulfill. You cannot meet them. You're told you cannot meet this. It's not right. It's not your time. Yeah? And you do not know what to do with them.
It's a crisis.
It's a crisis.
But you enter into it without knowing you are entering into crisis.
You enter into it without knowing you are entering into crisis.
And you are behind step because to you I'm a child.
I am behind step because to me you are a child.
Right.
I've just seen, yes, you are bigger now. You're growing bigger. Good. Yeah? So what? So you're just growing bigger so that you become a man or the girl becomes a lady. But now there is this turmoil. And because different stages handle it differently. We were, at that point, we were still under our parents, generally. Because the pressure was not much. There wasn't much entertainment. There was no, these social things were not there.
The forces that are affecting teenagers.
The forces were not there.
In the modern world were not there.
No, they were not there. Yeah? So largely, we just grew up in that quiet environment. Yeah? So, of course, not that we were perfect, because as time went on, yeah, people would look for people would become mischievous if opportunity arose. So, because the bodies are the same.
Yes.
So it's about what is happening in the environment,
Yes.
in your social world.
So if in your social world, then the behavior is good, even with the urges, the behavior is restricted.
It's restricted.
Even with the urges, you corral the behavior.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I don't have people to do bad things with.
Yeah.
All of us are, we have the same value system. We are going to the same kind of homes,
Exactly.
the same kind of rules, and we don't have the external influence of the TV or the sensual materials that make you feel this is okay. We can do this.
And the society says this is unacceptable at this point.
Because in my case, you are telling me, Wawero, God says this, nini nini. Me, I'm listening to Snoop and Dr. Dre, and they're saying FRB, and it's tumenda. So me, I'm like, no, I don't want this. I want this.
Yeah, because now you have two sources of information. Your parents are telling you ABCD, but your world there is telling you something different.
So it's a conflict of value systems.
Yeah,
also.
There's a conflict here. And like you said, you're moving towards independence, and that's what your body is telling you. Yeah, I can even be, a man. I can even be a father.
And what I'm inputting is telling me, iko sawa hivyo.
Now, and now you are being told iko sawa to go do it. So, for you, then it would be, you'd have more pressure than we did. Yeah, because we did not allow the outside world telling us you can do it.
Is this why were you giving me a hard time about? You used to say that you didn't like it that they were inserting music in TV shows for teenagers and for younger kids. You never liked it at all. I remember as a child. Why was this a big issue for you? I'm just thinking about it now in terms of how you're saying there was no external influence. You were not happy. I remember you used to complain and say, why are they putting these songs?
Why are they interpassing these cartoons with music?
Yes.
And because this music, what is the music infusing in your mind? What is the music telling you? What are you seeing? Is it the dancing? Is it the what? So why was the music being brought in at that point? These are small children. It's not small children who are singing. It's adults.
It's grown men, grown women.
Yeah, what are they saying?
Talking about sex.
Exactly.
And let's have fun. Let's go have a drink. The usual things.
And so they are trying to influence the children. The children are glued to the TV watching their cartoons. Then somebody comes in, and brings a lot of that when they are really ready to watch. And children assimilate everything. They take in everything. We say their brain is malleable. They take everything. And what they take, they don't lose. They retain it forever.
Yes.
Because the brain loses nothing.
Yes.
So when they get to that point,
and they're watching cartoons and they're watching songs with grown-up themes, with those sexualized themes and images. This is also becoming part of their...
Yeah.
At this crucial age.
At this crucial age.
Okay.
So when the body starts speaking a different language, and all that they have had, will influence them. Because this is what they had. When this happens, you do what? When blah, 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 blah. So I was trying to shield you from that. If it is cartoon time, it's cartoon time for children. Why are you bringing in adult songs that have adult language that is not very clean? It is deliberate.
It is deliberate. I did a show once at a place called Rock City in Kiambu. Somewhere near Kenudia's place. Long time. And then they called me to perform. It was called Family Show. On Sundays, there's people who love our music, but they don't go to clubs. So Sundays, you'll find some venues where they've kind of set it up for the whole family to be there. Mzee can be here, they're eating, having some drinks, kids are swimming, and all this and all this. So I performed there. And then one of the things they used to do is to invite children to come and dance as the artist is performing. So I went and did the show. I was really hungover, but that thing sobered me up. I got there, started performing, and then they called the kids onto the stage. Then those kids were dancing. And me, I was a wretched fella. I could not believe it all. I could not believe it, like these kids.
Because they had seen it.
I even stopped it. I was embarrassed to be there with small children. They are doing something like, how do kids even know these things, So the influence is real. The reason I brought the story up is because I've realized that you did not have, in the society you grew up in, did not have those influences that are driving people towards, There was no early sexualization through images, through videos. Those things were not there. So, of course, teenage was not as rough. Of course, it couldn't have been as rough.
Yeah. So yours was different.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Yeah.
And therefore, you now as the modern parents, I think, need to prepare your children early. Yeah, what values do you instill in them? And they need to know that at a given point in time, someone who is already prepared before, it's easier to handle things when they happen.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
As you grow on, as you get to a certain age, your body will change. Yeah?
Yes.
And you start getting feelings, A, B, C, D. And they only tell you that you are growing to become a man, a woman,
Yes.
and to have the capacity even to get married and bring forth children.
Yes.
That's what your body will be telling you. Right?
Yes.
So they know when the body starts behaving that way, they do not experience the chaos.
Because they know
They anticipated it. They knew my body will change. And when they start, if it's girls, the breast is growing, the boy, things are happening. Yeah? And they say, oh, this is what I was told would happen. Right? And when it happens, it's simply telling me I'm developing a capacity as I grow older to become and be able to have this relationship, physical relationship with my wife or with my husband.
The definition of it is wholesome. It's not just now your body, now you can go and bang chiles.
No, but it needs to happen before, if I am to be asked. Not when it has already
taken
ruptured.
Before.
Before, so that the child, as they start experiencing this, many people don't have no idea. The boy starts experiencing an erection.
Out of nowhere.
Wet dreams. So what is happening? My teenager, I know there was something that's really scared me. I felt like my breasts were growing big. I developed some lumps, more thin. The hormones manifest in different ways.
It terrorizes boys.
It terrorized me at night, squeezing. Yeah. I'm becoming a girl. Squeezing at night, and I could not ask anyone. Who do I go tell now?
They'll laugh at you.
Yeah.
And they'll tell this.
So I was my breasts are growing. And some small hard thing.
It happens to many boys.
It really gave me sleepless nights. Squeezing and squeezing that thing so that it doesn't grow.
Man. And now you see the terror of teenage. There are so many difficult questions. There are so many things you're lost in your mind. Now, as you're saying, you didn't have someone to ask. Now, in my case, I'm easy. I'm lucky. And mine is a tag team. There's something which I'll not catch that Mama Watoto will catch. Happening among children, for example. But speak to a single mother who is working through the day now, kona watoto or mtoto. Because they then are more vulnerable and the children are more vulnerable. And we are in the world of kids growing up with their moms as the primary and as the only, a very large group of them. And this stuff hits hard. And they are not even empowered to deal with, say, boys. I went for a birthday the other day and I see to those ladies who have sons, oh, my son is so good. My son is so nice. And I said, you wait till he reaches 10, 11, 12, 13. This good boy of yours, utajua ukweli yake, as he starts to become this other, to change stages. So what would you say, Dad? Because teenage is rough already as a stage. I see you're pressed for time. And also now the fact that this is a lady, single mother, akona mtoi, a single mother trying to raise a child and they have a teenager. Where do we even begin to look with this thing? We don't have the framework.
I agree with you. Excuse me. I agree with you. It's not easy. Yeah? Even in a proper family setup, it's not easy.
Yes.
Like I said, because the parents many times were caught up. Not knowing how do I prepare my children? How do I tell them?
And you're two.
And you are two. But you really don't even know how do I package it. Yeah? Because for you, it was not done to you. You are never prepared. So you went through it. So now your children, here they are. They are growing. And you don't know how to prepare them. And the challenge now is that as the world changes, they are in a new world. Your world was more stable. You handled it this way. Their world has a lot more influence.
Yes.
Now, so we don't know how to prepare our children. But now with the changes we have to be proactive.
Okay.
We have to be ready, to go ahead of the kids and let them know what to expect
Okay.
and how to manage it.
Okay.
Now, a single lady handling these boys, it can't be easy. First is because the boys need a man. We are wired to need both sexes, right? And you find that boys at a given age are very close to their mother, but they still need, as time moves on, they need a man to speak into their lives. They need to connect with a man. They also need to see how the mother relates with the father, because that is the model he will carry on. Yeah, but now talking about the singleness, because it is there it is with us.
It's here.
There's nothing we can do.
No. The kids are here.
And I would only advise the lady maybe to see if they can identify a man who can walk with his son. Not that it's ideal, because many men will not even know also, because they're not prepared. They won't know what to tell them. Yeah? They are not prepared. Going back, we say those who prepared the boys, the age groups, they were also prepared, initiated. Yeah?
We are just all of the blind leading the blind. It's the blind leading the blind.
Now it's the blind leading the blind.
Even the male figures that would stand in place for the absent father do not know what to pass on.
In many families, people are saying, if I look at the ankles of this boy, I can't pick one who appears to have it all together.
Jeez.
Who can speak to him, yeah, in a manner that will help him, because many are also wandering, lost. They have not yet gotten in touch with who they are and how to handle it. So how does he advise this one? But all said and done, this young man needs a male figure if they can get. A relative, someone who can walk with them. Yeah? Or to join a group, even if it's in a church setup, where they can then be under leadership. Somebody who will speak directly to them and guide them. Yeah? But they need to see a man. They need to have a man in their lives. Someone they can openly ask questions. What happens here? And someone who is deliberate, that he can educate them. Knowledge is powerful. It changes our perception. And it gives us more options in handling a situation. The more we know, the more options we have. When you don't know, you only have the one option you know.
Yes.
I feel, so I do. The more you know, the more options you have.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So wherever possible, I would recommend that there be someone who can be a role model and whom this young man can speak to and ask questions.
You must find a role model for your
son. A role model.
There's no way around that.
Yeah, who can even prompt this boy to speak what is going on and to share with him, to give them insight. I went through this, and this is how it was. And I understand, therefore, what you are going through or what is expected. And you could handle it this way. Yeah? At least you're giving them options. You're opening their view of that situation. Because when they don't have anything else, they simply listen to what is going on. Yeah? So that in a nutshell is what I would recommend. Because if in those situations where you cannot locate someone, yeah, I wish then you could belong to a church group.
These church programs of taking boys.
Churches have programs of taking boys through that, yeah, and helping them to become who they are supposed to become. But with him alone, there is a missing dimension. So expose the young man to a group, yeah, that can help him, that can nurture him, and help him develop the right values. And churches usually play that role.
I didn't like that church story when I was a teenager, because I would be referred back to a book. Like, Nimemitu Yudem. This is a real thing happening in my world. Then I'm being sent to a book and a set of rules. I'm like, come on, man. And that's why we gravitated to the music. We saw more people who looked, talked, and felt like us in the songs than in church. And that's why the music was also such a powerful influence, because this person looks like me. Not a book of thou shalt not. It's a human being who is telling me, bro, Peter no dame. You know, so we are here, we have opposing sets of influence, but we have one road that leads us to success over the long term. But it is not as appealing.
Yeah. It's not as appealing.
In the moment. Tufanye nini.
Yeah.
Yeah, what to do.
So that's a challenge, yeah?
Because
and
you
that's
say
what I'm
church
saying
is
now.
where it is.
For us now, we also, whether it's in church, we also have to up our game. How do we approach this? Yeah? It's not just this is what the Bible says. Yeah? I first connect with where are you? What are you struggling with? Yeah? You see, the Bible should speak to us about our lives and give solutions to our lives.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it's about looking at us, where am I? Yeah, what solution does God have for this? So that calls on us then as parents of the younger people to really up our game.
Okay.
Yeah. First understand the scenario.
Yes.
What is happening here? What does it mean? How many options do we have?
Okay.
And just sharing that knowledge. We said knowledge is powerful.
Okay.
Because once it goes in, it's recorded.
Yes.
And when that situation arises, I remember, I was told ABCD.
Okay.
I had XYZ.
Okay.
And that's why I said it should not start that time.
It needs to be before.
It needs to be before.
Okay. Are there any book recommendations you'd make to a parent in regards to this kind of thing, or a place to start? If like, where do I start in addressing this thing? Do you have any recommendations?
Right now, I do not have. I think these are serious matters we need now to start thinking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now, let me say I do not have.
Okay.
I'm just being caught what really now how I now see the situation.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
With some hindsight.
Yes.
So perhaps we'll look at the materials and see what is there.
Okay.
In the market that can help parents.
Yeah. For reference's sake.
And for reference sake.
Okay. Okay, but all the same, it was still very beneficial because I understood now. First, so from the things you have said, my take homes are that individualism, an individualized society will take us nowhere.
True.
It will take us nowhere.
Agreed.
Everything we are attempting to do is doomed to fail because of trying to operate in, it's a fantasy world. Mimi na kadunia kangu, what me I believe and what I think is right and what I think is wrong, that's my universe, and then you have your universe, and then you have your universe. It cannot work. There must be something we all come together around. A set of values, a set of behaviors, a set of beliefs.
Precisely. And
the lack of that is the reason why is one of the reasons why we see so much chaos, because kila mtu anabahatisha. Everyone is shooting in the dark. You guys, you get to this age, people who have been at this age before you come and tell you your body is going into this stage, you're going to feel this way, you're going to think this way, but you must not. And you must not because of this. And the right way to do it is this and this and this. But a million children have been told that. And we are all around each other. So we influence one another's behavior. Versus this individualistic thing where George's children, my children, your children, everybody's doing their own things. Everybody watches in their home, they watch this, they listen to this, they believe this. In my home, watch this, believe this. And then it's a mishmash of that and commercialism. People trying to sell products. Because at that age, these kids are ripe for consumerism. At that age, they're so easy to influence. So if you want to sell clothes and shoes, and these are the people who you target.
Yeah.
And the way to talk to these people is through the music. So in the music, then you infuse the products.
Exactly.
But then the kids go down a path that is not sustainable because they go into their teenage with the emotions instead of the preparation of life.
You've captured it quite well, yeah?
Yeah, this is all from you. I'm just your amplifier. In this case, I know nothing. If I knew anything, I'd not have the problems I have. If I knew anything, I'd not have some of the problems I have.
Yeah.
I know nothing. I've realized that.
So then we are saying we really need to change. Something needs to change.
Yes. Yeah. There needs to be something we operate from.
Yeah,
not just my ideas.
Exactly.
Or my thoughts or the moment. And it has to influence many people for it to become a culture.
Exactly.
And we need a culture. We need a
We need
culture.
a culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need a culture. And of course, I would say, the other day we talked about religion being a cultural system.
Yes.
And because it has values and beliefs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I would say then the Bible presents a certain picture. It's how now it's presented to the people. Yeah. How it is presented.
To the people.
How does it answer this question about me? Because that's how we need to approach it. These are the issues I struggle with. How does it answer that? So bring the two together. This is me and who I am and what I struggle with. Does it give me an answer? It does. But how that is captured and presented perhaps is the issue.
You have to give it life.
You have to give it life.
You see, and people, like during COVID, say a lot of people, for example, stopped going to church during COVID for many reasons. Some because of the health, being afraid to get something. But there's been a general loss in faith of people saying, sasa hata Mungu hakutoa hii COVID, you know. So there's that. There's a huge loss of traffic with the churches because of people feeling like, you know what, this doesn't solve my problems. But we have the same problems. So the Bible, if that is your frame of reference, then the Bible needs to be alive to the people who are going through this stage.
Yeah.
And then the churches and those institutions have to build up something that connects with the youth, not to try and impose something on them. Yeah.
No, from this discussion, I'm also being challenged. I'm seeing the situation in a very different light from the discussion, and seeing the struggles that in the real world.
Yes.
Because we have to connect to the new world.
Yes.
So if it is the word, we have to package it in a manner that we are able to meet it. The word is able to minister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to give that grounding like Joseph had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we need to address all that. And to see whether we have handled it well before.
Yes.
Or what needs to change.
Yeah, and that's in this video.
So it's a good challenge,
Yes.
but there has to be some shift,
Yes.
a paradigm shift in the way we handle it.
Yes.
Because it's a real crisis, and you agree it is.
Yes.
It was a crisis during my day. It has been a crisis. And it will continue being a crisis.
A bigger and bigger crisis.
A bigger crisis until we see how do we tame this crisis.
Yes.
How do we bring knowledge
Yes.
into this situation so that it ceases. Anything you're prepared for does not become a crisis.
It's not.
It only becomes a crisis when you're not prepared for it. This is all I knew, and suddenly I find a different thing.
Yes.
But so with preparation, and I think we should be very more deliberate, very deliberate
Yes.
in that area.
Yes.
To prepare the young people
For that.
for that.
Yes, I've seen end-of-life patients being prepared for death, and it changes them.
Yeah.
And someone sits with them and tells them, brother, utakufa. You know, the day is upon us. Put your affairs in order. And with that, you see someone really changing how they live.
Yeah.
They are going to die either way. But they approach death with a dignity, with an orderliness.
Exactly.
So then I believe we can do the same for teenage. Yeah.
Preparedness, being prepared, having the right knowledge.
In advance.
In advance.
That's the biggest thing I've taken from you. That we must prepare teenagers for teenage before they reach there.
Before they reach teenage.
Yes.
That is what is occurring.
Yes. Okay.
Good.
Okay, asante sana, Dad. As always, it was heat. Thank you so much to the production team. Thank you, Georgie. Thank you for each and every single person who takes even 1 second of their lives to watch these videos, because we are here for that. Thank you so much. Kikao Africa, the Rage of Teenage.